Has your spouse ever kept a secret that made you love them more? My husband thought I hadn't noticed that every Friday night for the past 6 months, he had been sneaking off to rehearse a surprise anniversary dance. It started out slow. He began coming home a little later on Fridays, always blaming it on traffic. What he didn't realize was that I tracked his location, not because I didn't trust him, but because I wanted to make sure he was safe. That was how I caught the first clue. Every Friday night, he took a detour to a community center 3 neighborhoods away. At first, I figured he had picked up a class, or if I was being completely honest, I wondered if it was something worse. So, one Friday, I followed him. I parked across the street and saw him through big glass windows, in a room full of couples. He stood near the back, stiff and nervous, counting steps like he was defusing a bomb. He was learning to dance. This man, my husband of 10 years, who once swore he had 2 left feet and practically bolted when the DJ called us to the floor at our wedding, was in a dance class. For me, I didn't say a word. The next week, I watched him get ready for traffic. He changed his shirt, checked his breath, and spritzed cologne for a gridlock. I smiled and asked, "Everything okay at work?" He nodded too fast and rushed out wearing mismatched socks. That was when I decided to play along. I started planting little traps. I left my old dance shoes by the door. I asked casually, "Should we try a class together sometime?" He froze every time. "Maybe," he said, "if I can find the time." One night, I put on music during dinner and twirled in front of him. "Come on, just one spin." He turned beet red and changed the subject. Then one Friday, he came home limping. "Step on a Lego?" I asked, pretending not to notice the panic in his eyes. No, it's fine." I opened the freezer. Weird, since we haven't had Legos in this house since 2017. The next week, he brought home a brochure from that same community center. He slid it into the mail pile like it wouldn't stick out. I pulled it out and read it like it was brand new. Oh, look, salsa, ballroom. Who knew? He nearly dropped his fork. His secret session started to ramp up. I caught him stretching before bed, whispering, quick, slow, while brushing his teeth. He even downloaded a metronome app. Last Friday, I came home early. I left a note that said, "At Mom's, back later," but really I parked down the street and waited. He didn't go to the community center. He walked a few blocks to a rental hall. Through the window, I saw him, tie loosened, sweat on his brow, practicing in front of a mirror like he was preparing for a Broadway debut. He had rented the space for himself for one dance. Last night at dinner, he nervously brought up our anniversary. "Would you hate it if we did something low-key this year?" I looked at him, at his sore feet and trembling fork, and said, "Only if it involves traffic." His eyes widened. "What?" I grinned. "You've been rehearsing a surprise dance for me for 6 months, haven't you?" He froze. "How did you?" I laughed. "Let's just say the traffic patterns in this city were very rhythmical." He dropped his face into his hands and groaned. "You're not mad?" he asked. "Mad?" I said. "I'm flattered, but now you have to perform it." He was still deciding whether he would, but I had already reserved a front row seat.